Jon Jones has officially responded to Alex Pereira following a subtle but widely discussed social media post from the former light heavyweight champion. Earlier this week, Alex Pereira shared a video reflecting on his past, showing himself inside the tire shop where he once worked before becoming a global combat sports star. In the background of the clip, fans quickly noticed a tire marked with the words "Next Jones," sparking immediate speculation about a potential showdown between the two champions. The post quickly went viral within the MMA community, prompting Jon Jones to address the message directly. Jones responded with a video of his own, delivering a calm yet unmistakably confident statement that immediately caught the attention of fans worldwide. In his response, Jones acknowledged Pereira's Brazilian roots and legacy, reminding viewers of his own history against elite fighters from Brazil. He emphasized that he has already defeated numerous legends from Pereira's country throughout his career and suggested that adding another name to that list would not be an issue for him. Jones went on to say that while he understands Pereira's desire to represent his country and potentially avenge past losses, he should be careful about pursuing that ambition. According to Jones, stepping into the cage with him is a wish that many fighters have made, only to regret it later. He closed his message by implying that although the matchup would be significant, the outcome would remain the same, offering a clear warning rather than an outright challenge. The exchange has only fueled speculation about a future super fight, with fans now debating whether this moment is simply playful banter or the early stages of a massive UFC clash in the making. Strickland has opened up about his frustration with filming promotional content for the UFC, offering a brutally honest perspective ahead of his upcoming fight. Strickland is currently preparing to face Anthony Hernandez at UFC Houston next month, but as Fight Week approaches, it's not the competition that has him annoyed, it's the media obligations. In a candid moment shared on social media, Strickland explained that he strongly dislikes filming with the UFC because he believes the process lacks authenticity. According to him, the version of himself that fans see in official UFC content is heavily filtered and edited, stripping away the raw honesty that defines his personality. He suggested that anything unscripted or unfiltered rarely makes it into the final product. Strickland went on to say that because of this, filming often feels pointless to him. Rather than pretending to be someone he's not, he joked that the UFC might as well just tell him exactly what they want him to say. He acknowledged that the promotion needs content for YouTube videos, promotional clips, and B-roll footage, but made it clear that the process feels more like manufactured storytelling than reality. His comments highlight a recurring tension between fighters and promotional expectations, particularly for outspoken athletes who don't fit neatly into a polished media narrative. While Strickland remains focused on his fight with Hernandez, his remarks once again underline why he remains one of the most polarizing and unfiltered voices in the UFC today. Gilbert Burns has shared his honest perspective on the realities of starting a career in mixed martial arts later in life, offering advice that may surprise aspiring fighters. According to the former title challenger, there is still a realistic path to success for athletes who begin training in their 20s, even if their ultimate goal is to become a world champion. However, Burns believes that once a person reaches their 30s, the window to start an MMA journey at the highest level is largely closed. Burns explained that mixed martial arts is a sport that demands years of physical development, skill acquisition, and mental conditioning. He stated that beginning after the age of 30 makes it extremely difficult to build the necessary athletic foundation required to compete with elite fighters who have been training since their teens or early 20s. In his view, 30 years old is essentially the cutoff point for someone starting from scratch with championship ambitions. That said, Burns emphasized that athletes in their 20s still have a legitimate chance, especially if they have prior experience in sports or combat disciplines. He pointed out that physical athleticism, adaptability, and recovery are still on your side during those years. More importantly, he highlighted the role of mindset, discipline, and surrounding yourself with the right coaches and training environment. Burns acknowledged that age itself is not always the sole determining factor, but admitted that the physical demands of MMA become significantly harder to manage after 30. He referenced rare exceptions, such as Olympic-level athletes, noting that unless someone possesses an extraordinary background like Yoel Romero, the odds are stacked heavily against late starters. Ultimately, Burns' message was meant to be realistic rather than discouraging, encouraging young athletes to act early while also setting honest expectations about the challenges of entering MMA later in life. Islam Makhachev has sparked conversation across the MMA community after expressing interest in a potential matchup with rising welterweight contender Michael Morales. The reigning champion recently shared his thoughts on Morales' unbeaten record and made it clear that he would not hesitate to put that status to the test if the opportunity presents itself. Makhachev addressed the situation during an interview with Match TV, where he referenced a brief controversy surrounding Morales' record on topology. According to Islam, Morales was listed as having suffered a loss just days ago, only for the result to be removed shortly afterward. The sudden change caught Makhachev's attention and left him questioning how the outcome was reversed so quickly. Islam explained that he personally watched footage of a fight in which Morales appeared to be submitted by choke. However, the bout was later classified as an exhibition match, which allowed Morales' undefeated record to remain intact. While acknowledging the technical explanation, Makhachev did not seem impressed by the clarification. With his trademark bluntness, Islam suggested that if the result was erased because it was labeled an exhibition, then Morales should simply be choked out again in an official fight. The comment was delivered half-jokingly, but carried a clear message. Makhachev believes that undefeated records mean little unless they are tested against elite competition. The remarks have fueled speculation about a possible future clash, especially as Islam continues to look for fresh and meaningful challenges. Whether or not a fight with Morales ever materializes, Makhachev's comments reinforce his reputation as a champion who values legitimacy, dominance, and proving things inside the cage rather than on paper. Derrick Lewis believes he is entering his upcoming fight in the best condition of his career. The heavyweight contender is set to face Waldo Cortes Acosta at UFC 324 next week. And ahead of the matchup, Lewis has expressed strong confidence in both his physical and mental preparation. Speaking during fight week, Lewis stated that he feels better than he ever has, emphasizing that everything is coming together at the right time. According to Lewis, his mindset, conditioning, and overall health are all at peak levels as he approaches the bout. He described himself as feeling perfect, noting that his energy, focus, and recovery have noticeably improved throughout camp. Lewis also mentioned that the UFC provided him with recovery-focused peptides, which he claims have made a significant difference in how his body feels day to day. He explained that after consistently using them, he began noticing improvements in soreness, recovery time, and mental clarity. While discussing the supplements, Lewis maintained a casual tone, simply stating that he feels the benefits and believes they have helped elevate his performance during training. Members of Lewis' team echoed those sentiments, praising his sharpness and responsiveness during recent sessions. One coach described Lewis as being locked in, comparing his reaction speed and execution to that of a video game character. According to the team, his mental clarity stood out, as he was able to immediately make adjustments when instructed, something that can be difficult late into a demanding training camp. His recovery also reportedly exceeded expectations. After completing intense conditioning rounds, Lewis surprised his coaches by requesting additional heavy bag work, even on a day typically reserved for lighter training. The team expressed surprise at how quickly the recovery tools appeared to take effect, suggesting they could be a major factor in extending Lewis's longevity at the elite level. With fight night approaching, Derrick Lewis appears confident, energized, and fully prepared to put his renewed form to the test inside the octagon. Joe Pyfer has addressed concerns from fans who believe his mutual respect with Israel Adesanya could affect his aggression inside the octagon. Ahead of their highly anticipated matchup at UFC Seattle, Pyfer made it clear that respect outside the cage will not translate to hesitation once the fight begins. Pyfer explained that while he genuinely respects Adesanya for his accomplishments and legacy in the sport, everything changes the moment the cage door closes. According to him, once both fighters step inside the octagon, it becomes a competition where each man is trying to take something from the other, and nothing will be given freely. He emphasized that he has no intention of holding back and plans to fight with full commitment and intensity. Addressing the idea that he might be gun-shy, Pyfer firmly dismissed it. He stated that he thrives in chaos and pressure, describing himself as a fighter who enjoys aggressive exchanges and high-paced battles. He made it clear that he is not interested in a cautious or point-based fight, nor in pretending to be friendly during competition. While he maintains respect for Adesanya as a professional, Pyfer stressed that they are not friends inside the cage. Pyfer also expressed strong confidence in his skill set, saying he believes he can hurt Adesanya on the feet, compete with him in grappling exchanges, and showcase the full range of his abilities. However, he was careful to explain that he is not overlooking the moment or getting caught up in hype. From his perspective, the stage is not overwhelming, as he has already experienced high-pressure fights, main card appearances, and major spotlight moments in the UFC. To Pyfer, records and reputations disappear once the fight begins. Regardless of Adesanya's resume, he sees the matchup as two fighters starting fresh against each other. With that mindset, Pyfer insists he will not hesitate, retreat, or fight cautiously, promising to pursue victory with confidence and conviction when they meet at UFC Seattle. Tom Aspinall has shared his breakdown of Justin Gaethje's fighting style ahead of UFC 324, offering insight into what makes the former interim lightweight champion one of the most dangerous and entertaining fighters in the sport. Aspinall began by pointing out that Gaethje is a rare athlete who possesses a complete skill set, but often chooses to fight in a far more chaotic and aggressive manner than necessary. According to Aspinall, Gaethje is technically sound across the board, with a strong wrestling background and solid fundamentals, yet he frequently abandons a measured approach in favor of all-out exchanges. This willingness to engage in constant battles is exactly what makes him so exciting for fans, but also what makes his fights incredibly volatile. Aspinall highlighted Gaethje's calf kicks as one of his most effective and unique weapons. Rather than throwing standard low kicks, Gaethje often uses a running, soccer-style calf kick, charging forward and slamming into his opponent's leg with full force. This technique allows him to generate massive power and disrupt an opponent's movement early in fights. What makes the attack even more dangerous, Aspinall noted, is how Gaethje blends it with his punching combinations. Between kicks, Gaethje will throw heavy hooks, explosive uppercuts, and overhand shots, creating constant pressure. His ability to switch seamlessly between striking tools keeps opponents guessing and forces them to react rather than set their own rhythm. However, Aspinall also pointed out that Gaethje shows little concern for his own safety when executing these attacks. He often runs forward with both feet facing straight ahead, committing fully to each strike without worrying about damage to his legs or overall durability. According to Aspinall, this reckless commitment is both a strength and a weakness, as it can overwhelm opponents but also exposes Gaethje to significant risk. Ultimately, Aspinall described Gaethje as a fighter who thrives on intensity, chaos, and sheer will, making him one of the most unpredictable competitors heading into UFC 324. Arman Tsarukyan is officially back in the gym and back to full intensity as he resumes training under the guidance of renowned strength and conditioning coach Sam Calavita. After spending time away addressing physical concerns, Tsarukyan appears focused, healthy, and fully committed to pushing his performance to the next level. During the session, it was emphasized that the team took the correct approach with his recovery, particularly when it came to managing stress on his knees. Adjustments were made to his training structure to ensure long-term durability without sacrificing explosiveness or conditioning. According to those around him, the changes have paid off, with Tsarukyan now moving confidently and pain-free. The workout itself showcased Tsarukyan's trademark intensity. From the start, the session was fast-paced and demanding, with constant encouragement pushing him to maintain speed, power, and focus. Coaches urged him to stay sharp, keep his hands fast, and continue driving through fatigue. Each round was treated with urgency, reflecting a championship mindset rather than a routine gym session. As the clock wound down during conditioning drills, the emphasis shifted to mental toughness. With seconds left, Tsarukyan was pushed to dig deeper, maintain form, and finish strong. The coaching staff repeatedly stressed urgency, reminding him that every second matters at the elite level. Despite visible fatigue, Tsarukyan responded by increasing his output, demonstrating both physical conditioning and mental resilience. The atmosphere in the gym reflected hunger and motivation, with Tsarukyan clearly embracing the grind. His return to structured, high-level training signals that he is preparing for another major run in the lightweight division. Working alongside Calavita, Tsarukyan appears focused on maximizing efficiency, durability, and explosiveness as he eyes his next opportunity inside the octagon. With momentum building and intensity rising, Tsarukyan's return to the gym may be an early sign that a big announcement is on the horizon.